Okay, I hope you're all doing well today on this Tuesday afternoon. We're going to do a Rashi from Parshas Matos again, furthering the story of the war with Midian, which we talked about a little bit yesterday, in terms of why was the war with Midian versus with Moab. So after they come back from the war, the following pasuk comes about. Vayomer Elazar HaKohen al Anshe Hatzava, Elazar HaKohen, the son of Aaron, speaks to the men of war who are coming back, Habaim la milchama, coming back from the war. And he says to them, Zos chukas haTorah asher tziva Hashem es Moshe. This is the following law that's important from the Torah for you to know, which Hashem had commanded Moshe. And he goes on to tell him, Achas hazahav, esakesev, esanachoshes, esabarzel, esabedil, esaofares, all different kinds of metal. Kol davar asher yavo va'esh, tavir va'esh, v'taher, ach b'mei nida yischata. You should bring all those things which were used with fire into the fire, and you should sprinkle them with water. It's from this pasuk that we derive all of the halachos of hechsher kelim, koshering vessels, and tevilas kelim, putting vessels in a mikvah before we use them. It's all based on this pasuk, the achs, the various materials that are used here, meinida, etc. We learn here the basic principle of kibolo kachpoto. The way it's absorbed is the way it's expelled in the koshering process. Like it says here, anything that went through fire, taviru va'esh, you should bring them through fire again. Anything that didn't absorb through fire but absorbed through water, you should bring through water. That's why we do hagala, the process of hagala, of putting things in boiling water when they absorb non-kosher things through boiling water. It's the reason why we kosher things with fire when they absorb non-kosher things through fire, all based on the booty of the war with Midian. They're bringing back all these vessels that were used by a foreign people, were not keeping kosher. And here, Elazar HaKohen was telling them how to deal with these vessels in a halachic manner to be able to use them and eat from them in the future. The strange part of the pasuk is that it's Elazar HaKohen who's giving them these instructions. Right? Usually Moshe teaches them all the halachos. Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe our teacher. Moshe is the one who received the Masorah from Hashem. Every single chapter in the Torah, Kim'at, is a chapter in which Moshe Rabbeinu teaches us the halachos. And here it's Elazar HaKohen all of a sudden. Not only is it Elazar HaKohen, but it's Elazar HaKohen speaking to the Anshe Hatzava, telling them these are the laws of the Torah, which Hashem commanded Moshe. If he had never mentioned Moshe, okay, fine. So he decided to teach these halachos. But here he's quoting that these are the laws that Hashem taught Moshe. Okay, ... Well, why are you the one teaching it? Why isn't Moshe the one teaching us these halachos? So Rashi explains very interesting over here. Lefisha ba Moshe lichlal kas ba lichlal taos shenis alma mimenu hilchos giule goyim. Because Moshe got mad, he forgot all of the halachos of Kalim, of how to kosher these vessels. Now, where did he get mad? He got mad a few psukim earlier. When they come back from the war, it says, Vayitzof Moshe pikudei achayil. Get very mad at the men of war. Vayomer alehem Moshe achiesim kol nekiva. You disobeyed the rule of the Torah. You were supposed to kill the women in this battle, in this war, because the women were primarily the instigators of the whole incident of Baal Peor, and yet you left the women alive. So that was a mistake. So they may have indeed made a mistake, but the problem is Vayitzof Moshe, that Moshe got upset at them. He got angry at them. According to Chazal, anger leads to mistakes. In this case, according to Rashi, anger led Moshe to the mistake of simply forgetting the correct halachos, which is why Elazar HaKohen had to step in and teach them these halachos of hechsher kelim and of tvilas kelim that they needed to know in order to use these vessels. It's a fascinating Rashi. It goes on to cite other examples of this, which we all know from the Torah. We find other places in the Torah where Moshe got angry and then he makes a mistake. Moshe got angry and then he forgets halachos. On the seventh day of the Miluim, Shenemar Vayiktzov Moshe Elazar v'Tamar. During the process of the Miluim, Moshe gets upset at Elazar Itamar Kohanim, the same Elazar as over here, the sons of Aaron, about the korbanos, and there he has to ask Hashem because he forgets the halacha. Similarly, Bishimu Nahamorim, Parsha Chukas. We just read this a couple of weeks ago when Moshe hits the rock. He gets mad. Shimu Nahamorim, says the pasuk. Listen, you rebels. You rebels is an expression of anger that Moshe had towards the people. And what did he do immediately after that? He hits the rock. Because of his anger, he made mistakes. And this is yet another example of that. It's a fascinating thing. I don't think many of us would have picked up on the fact that Elazar was teaching the halacha here, so it's good that Rashi points that out. He explains why that's the case, as opposed to Moshe over here, because he gets mad. He simply forgets the halachos, and therefore someone else has to step in. But in addition to all of that, I think it's just an important lesson for us to remember, which is that certainly anger can lead us to do all kinds of things that we don't generally want to do or that we wouldn't be proud of. And anger can just lead us in general, like it says here in the Rashi, to Tues, to making mistakes, not only to Tues, but to shikha, to just losing our mind, to kind of forgetting where we're at, forgetting the normal premises that we operate by, forgetting the information that we absorb. You know, when you're in a state of anger, you're not thinking straight. That's the expression we use in English. I think that's what Chazal are pointing to over here with Moshe as well. You're not thinking straight, and therefore either you forget or you make mistakes. And it's something that many of us, I know, try to work on and try to be able to correct in ourselves as well. Have a great day, everybody. Be well.
Thank you, Rabbi. Have a
Thank you.